Okay, moving on to the next lesson. This lesson is also about for loop and its extension of the last lesson that we covered. Here we are going to cover again a couple of scripts. One script that we wanted to cover is how we could rename files that has .txt file extension to .none, or any file that you wanted to change with a different name. The second script that we'll cover is check to see if a files exist. Now the file exists, sometimes you have to actually log into a different server, and you need to find out if in a different server a file exists on that server as well or not. So you could create that script in there and you could check that. Both of these scripts have a very much application to the real life, because I actually worked on many of these type of tasks where I have to change or rename the files, or I have to check if those files exist or not. So I'm going to cover these again, real life example. I'll log into my Linux machine straight here. I am logged in as myself, and of course I am in my home directory, and I'm going to create a new script, and I'm going to name it rename files. And we're going to start with our same practice. It's only going to take a few seconds, so please get into the habit of doing that. Date, description, which is for me the most important one. This script will rename files ending with .txt. And then I have to do the modified date, which is, since this is a new one, I'll just put the same date. Okay. The script. The first script, what it's going to do is it's going to create a variable for, so this time I'm going to pick a different variable. I'm going to put like a file name. You could put I again if you want to. N asterisk.txt. So it's going to look for all the files in the current directory that has the ending name with .txt. And asterisk, as you know, is a wildcard. It's going to look for that, and it's going to put in a container name, file name. Okay, it's going to do that. What else you want it to do now? I want it to do move whatever comes from that container. So whatever comes from that container, name it, rename it to file name, %, change it right here, to none, and done. So once again, it's gonna get the list of all the .txt file and put it in a container, and the container name is file name. Then it's gonna do is move that list of all the files that are in that container, and it's gonna rename it to, and this is the string or syntax that you have to pick, which is dollar curly braces file name, which is the name of our actual file, and this % is actually like a wildcard .text. So it's saying whatever that is .text, change it to .none, and then be done with the script. Give the proper executable permission. Now let's run it, and oops, it's not the right one. Rename files. Okay. And it says cannot stat *text, no such file or directory. Perfect. It means it works. How it works? Why did it give us error message? Because we do not have any file in our current directory that ends with .txt. So if you do ls-l *.txt, see, nothing is in there. So we will create some files. So touch imran.txt, afzal.txt, or any.txt. So we created these three files, and these three files will be renamed to .done when I run the script. So let's run the script, rename files, hit enter. It ran, and let's verify it, and it did change from .txt to .none. So that's one of the examples. You could change multiple files with your script in one shot. Next one we have that we want to cover is check to see if file exists. This one I have used it in the past as well many times. So let's do copy, rename files, and I want to do check files. Copied saved us time, so now vi the files. I'll leave everything in there except this script will check for files. Simple as that. Just change the description. Everything stays the same, and remove the script and start the new script. So now, what are the files that you want to check? So I want to first create a variable. In the variable, I'll just put files equal, put double quote / etc password. Every system has that, right? / etc group. Every system should has that too. If it not, then we have a problem, right? So that's what we wanted to make sure. Shadow etc and nsswitch.conf etc sshd _ssh _config. And the last one, I just want to put fake. It's just a fake. I wanted to see if the script actually finds it. Hey, this file does not exist. All right, so these are the file of close the quotes. These are all the files I'm putting in a variable called files. Good. Variable is defined. Now what do we want it to do? Put echo, so it will put an empty line. For, now we are creating another variable for file in files. So all these files that are in this variable, now I want you to put those files coming from this variable into another variable, and that variable called is just file, lowercase file. Do if, now here's a new one, if exclamation E file, this is going to do is if the files are coming here that do not exist, exclamation means do not equal to the file that I have specified, then echo the file do not exist. Echo another empty line, fee, and done. Okay, so basically what I'm saying is if you go and look for all these files right here in this container and then put all these files in a new container, so and then do is test if these files actually exist in this system, and if they do not exist, then tell me they do not exist. If they exist, don't worry about it, don't tell me. So that's why I didn't use else command. So let's run it and now check files. Okay, you see right here it says etc sshd _ssh config do not exist. etc fake do not exist. Okay, yes, so ssh _ssh config, that file, there is a file there, but I actually by mistake picked the wrong one. Actually it is etc ssh. Actually I am not root, that's why it's not going. No, it's actually ssh config. Yes, this is the actual file. So but I have it specified wrong here, that's why it says do not exist. That's how this script is doing. So why do we need that script? Because as I said before, what was that? Sorry. As I said before, many times you do have to go into different system to check if those files exist and make sure, even if it's an application file or database file, you need to verify those files exist, and that's why you're not having the problem, because files do not exist. That's how you run the script. You could specify different files to test on it and see how it works.